Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this is an impressive list of people that the group has talked to, and I want to encourage them to continue to speak to as many people as they can and build a coalition here of people that are interested in this. But I just want to emphasize that, you know, the key here is MoDOT. The key is MoDOT. I mean, you're perfectly welcome to come to East-West Gateway meeting this week, but until MoDOT asks us to approve something, there's really not a whole lot East-West Gateway can do. I mean, MoDOT needs to, they need to go ahead and reevaluate their formula that they use on these roads. I asked John Greifsue, who's not here tonight, he did a little research today, and we're going to do some more. But I mean, we found at least two projects the state is going to do shoulders on in different parts of the state. And from 2006 to 2010, there were no fatalities on these two projects. Now, again, together they're about $3 million worth of shoulders. But again, I mean, I don't know what formula they used, but if it's based on safety, obviously we have a much greater threat to safety on our roads here than they do in some of these other parts of the state. So we really need to focus in on MoDOT and get them to change the way they do things, to change their formula, to look at these safety factors, and not just spread the money around the state in some sort of attempt to just, give everybody the same amount, because obviously the needs are not the same everywhere in the state. On this resolution, obviously it's up to you to go ahead and amend the TIP, and I think most of you understand how this works, but just for the benefit of the SOS people and the people watching at home, we can't do anything unless we have something in the TIP. But even after it's in the TIP, we would have to come back to you with a specific contract to do some sort of cost share with MoDOT. But this would authorize us to do a 90-10 cost share arrangement. And why did we pick the $3 million? Because we think the total cost is about $30 million to do the 100 miles or so of roads that need to be fixed. I don't know that there's any chance that MoDOT would come up with the full $30 million. But as much as we can get them to come up, we'll do a 10% match. Why 10%? That's what we do with the cities. When we do a road project, we make the cities go ahead and kick in at least 10% of the cost, and we do the 90. So in this particular case, where the responsibility is entirely MoDOT's, we think 10% is a good contribution. And again, we're under no legal obligation to do this. But I think we're under a moral obligation, given the urgency of the situation and what's been going on out there. And again, I know that all of you have expressed an interest in doing what we can on this. I wish we could do more, but I think this is a good start, and will create an incentive for MoDOT to do their duty. We can't do it for them, but we can certainly help them.
Steve, doesn't it, by putting this money, by doing this ordinance and putting this money, actually saying the money is right there, it actually kind of puts them, I don't want to say in a spot, but they almost are obligated to do something, wouldn't you think? I
think it puts the ball in their court.
Yeah.
We're willing to do a 10% match. What are you willing to do? And of course, again, we need to just focus in on them and try to get them to change the way they do things. And if they can't, they're going to have a whole nother round of funding here for next year. And we need to make sure that they understand that these roads in St. Charles County are especially dangerous and deserve their #1 priority.
So it's important for you guys to keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Just keep it up. Keep the pressure on the state. That's where the money's going to come from now.
Very good. Any other comments on bill number 3570? Paul?
And then by asking this question, I no means mean to denigrate anything that's already been said, and certainly my sympathies are with anyone that's lost people. But I think in fairness, since I don't see it here, what $3 million does this impact I mean, is this being shifted from something else to this, or
This is from reserves. It's from a reserve fund. But it can't be spent unless it's actually in the TIP.
Okay.
Every year we do projects. Remember, we talked last year about how we were trying to get cities to go ahead and give money back if they couldn't get it done. Every year there's money that lapses on projects that are scheduled to be completed but don't get started in time, and the money lapses.
So this is having
and
no
goes
impact
into-
on any other projects in any other
This is not.
districts or anywhere else?
No, this is not taking money out of any other project and putting it here. Now, it will mean there'll be less money available next year if this has to be held in reserve. But any project you've
Do you have a
already
priority
approved
list
is
of
not
where
being
that-
affected.
Where that starts, I mean, again, just so we have an understanding, is that something that's fought out at that time, or is that something that we?
The TIP
Already know.
for next year was approved at the December meeting.
Councilmember Nguyen, there's also monies that are appropriated in this reserve fund that would typically be used for any potential right-of-way acquisitions. That's where this is coming from. You never know, as some of these projects unfold, whether or not you're going to use it or not. So the county executive has asked that it come out of there.
Right, but it sounds like what you're saying, if there is other ones that are affected, is there a sort of a priority list of, okay, this one gets bumped first, this one gets bumped second, this one gets bumped third, or is that to be determined next year?
That would always be ultimately up to you all.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if we end up doing this whole 3 million, that'll be 3 million less. Next November, we'll be able to come back and ask you to approve. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing magical about it. I mean, it's you know, if you use it for one project, that's not going to be available for another one. But it's not taking any money from any project that anybody out there is anticipating will be done this year. Is that correct, Don? Would you agree with that?
That is correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Well, that concludes bills for introduction, and we move to tabled bills. Are there any bills to come off the table? Seeing none, then we'll go to announcements and miscellaneous. And I have announcement on our March 8th work session at 5:30 here. We will have, on the agenda, we have a County Auditor, Brent Statler, speaking on the update on the committee for ARRA. And we'll have an overview proposal on the Unified Development Ordinance changes. And we'll also have a discussion on a smoking ban ballot item, plus other miscellaneous topics. Are there any other announcement or comments? Seeing none, then I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved. Thank you all for coming.